All right, so now I just saw the perfect example of what I was talking about earlier, those trauma imposters. um, they're out there. And really, there are people who have experienced real things. And what happens is and I like to put, what I do is I'm happy to find out, if we really can sort of collaborate on information or support each other in, yes, I've been through or am going through a version of that too, and let's talk about maybe the different ways we handle it. And occasionally I do have friends that we just share information, but a good friend who's got long COVID, totally different stuff than what I'm going through, but I'm always interested in these new treatments that she's getting for it and how they're working. She's had other health issues. So then, when we exchange things about our health or trauma or things, it's an even exchange. And I also know she's the person that I can just say whatever I need to say to her, and in that space, there's there's no need for her to inject ego, nor is there for me. So, but then you will get these, especially from where I'm from my hometown. I will sort of get these people, like in a thread or something, who start talking about the same kind of trauma. Some of them will start in a little bit of a conflict. Hey, don't talk like this, don't do this. But we'll meet in somewhere where, I think, we're both kind of, I think we're playing for the same team. Then you find out, I've had a couple of these, and I just had one, that they have got a lot to say about themselves. And when you're like, oh yeah, I've been through some of that too in this place, and oh no, they really need it all. And the funny thing is, they will turn around on you when they have just blown your ear off. They will turn around on you when you start to say something and be like, "You're talking to," that it's really, First of all, they are just starting out by controlling the narrative. It's a control thing, but it's also like you've got to hear all about, oh, how woeful it's been for me. And this person, seriously, I figured this out so quickly, because what she did is she got on, I was on a thread, and she was trashing a place that I know to be doing some really good things. She was trashing, but at this point, she's trashing right where she lived. And the one thing I noticed in conversation is she is an interloper in a whole different way. I was like unintentional with that, but she intentionally just moves around from city to city on her disability, sees what she can get out of it, and then trashes the city and then claims she's claiming some ancestry because her dad was a musician and he played there, and it's a big music state, Kentucky. I mean, ooh, don't go taking some ownership of that and then trashing that place when I've been trying to lead her in the right direction to see what's not to be done. But she's got to tell me. This came up early in the conversation, and I just went, oh, okay, I know what I have on my hands. Because she was like, well, I was the one who got Cherokee Park reopened during COVID. Because I am disabled. Kind of the point was nobody really needed to be running to the park. I mean, I was watching that happen in California, and everybody's like, we have the right to go to the beach. That gets abused, and that's why those things were in place. And you went out as a narcissistic, trauma-infused, I deserve my time in the park because I'm disabled during COVID, where you should be protecting your health and staying in. But a narcissist can't do that. You need to get out. You need to get attention. You need to get out of having to deal with yourself. It was so, now I've just kind of kept her in and watching her. She got online. She does these bizarro things. She wants to trash and make fun of people, and she's so much better. And then she wants to talk about all her disabilities and her urology and stuff. And how terrible. Oh, and she was like, and now I'm going to have to pay $60 for a lift just to get to this doctor. So that's where I was like, hey, I might be able to help you out with that. I know some people in mutual aid there might be able to help you get a ride. That's no big deal. Oh, no. Second sign. No. I'm not going to let you anywhere near, helping me. I'm controlling this narrative. Okay, if I let you help me, then you've got control of the narrative. No way. Even if it costs me $60, I don't have. I also offered, she was so passionate about all this civic work, and I said, wow, I can see we only have a couple of mutual friends, and I've got a whole bunch of people I could put you in touch with, people who are actually involved with the park system in the West, oh, I'm very connected here. I was like, oh, okay. We don't collaborate. we don't do, we're, we're not sharing here. Another sign of a narcissist. Then the shooting in Texas, that school shooting in Uvalde happened, and immediately she's on there going, I think we should do something. That school is not a safe space. I think we should all get together and build them a new school. What do you think? By then, I got on there and I went, there have been by now 22, I think at the time, 22 mass shootings, just this year alone. So there are probably a lot of places that need rebuilding and repairing. And you're in Louisville. Good luck. And these grand ideas, grandiose things that no way, but she's, oh, but look, what a generous person I am, that I am willing to just do anything if I could just go to Texas and help them build a school. But I just got on today and saw her. Oh, I am in need of, I don't remember the word, but it clearly read as, I'm in need of some attention. Because I've just had this terrible medical experience, and I'm so miserable. I'm in so much discomfort, and it's awful. And I thought it was cancer because someone told me it was cancer, but I'm grateful that it's not. But it's so terrible, and I feel so bad, and I just, I need. And the first thing I thought is, yeah, we are all going through. I would love to get online and go, man, this nerve damage is eating my foot alive. And every time I go to the gym and think that I'm helping myself, I feel like I'm in more pain and I'm getting needles and pins all over me. I keep getting and I can't sleep, migraines. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. Nobody needs to hear that because everybody right now is going through some kind of physical, mental distress that they don't need to be. Literally over half of us are going through that. So that's the first thing I had to say is like, listen, half of the country's population is going through some version of that. You're not unique. But then I see on one of her threads that somebody's like, oh, da-da-da, and, hope you find out that the first thing she has to do is, well, Kentucky has done this and this, and they've just messed it up so badly that I can't. And at that point, I just couldn't. I was like, will you please quit trashing Kentucky while they are accommodating your state there? Be grateful. I mean, damn, you're not even looking for the good parts. Shit. I was in one of the ugliest cities doing the most corrupt, forcing people into homelessness. And you can't walk anywhere in that whole city and get away from it. Seriously. So you see people spinning out. I've been spit at and called a bitch by somebody I didn't know who was just so distressed about being homeless. That's what happens. Yet, I kept managing to find good things, reasons to find something good to acknowledge, to experience, and not sit there and wallow in my self-pity and try to bring other people into it. That is a trauma imposter, and that's a narcissist who, no matter how much empathy you feel for them, they are just going to gobble it all up. Gobble up if you give them some advice, they may turn it around, put it on social media. I had someone do that too, straight up. I was like, yeah, I tend to do this on a daily basis just to keep myself feeling, positive. And they were like, oh, I never thought of doing that. I keep a sketchbook, but I never really thought of, writing down, and I was just like, literally, I just start making a list of every positive thing that happened, because sometimes it's hard to, all you see is the big negatives, the bigger picture. And so I just start everything that's kind of a gift or a positive that I'm grateful for, I document it. I never thought of doing that. That very next day, I see her online going, you know what I do when I'm feeling discouraged? I just keep a list every day of almost verbatim. A narcissist will do that. This is somebody who actually was homeless, and we were just sharing trauma experiences. Someone from my hometown who had chucked herself out into California, deliberately go out there and get homeless. I think she wanted some kind of celebrity or acknowledgement. And she got it by doing that. Social media, vomiting everything like that, and stealing. Yeah, again, trauma imposter. and they win at that. They find someone that they can pull into that trauma and just feel how, and they can turn themselves into courageous and all those, because they steal your stuff, but they don't give anything back. And what they do, they make a show of giving back, is extremely false. There's another one that I'm on right now, but before I get on to him and the way he is really at large messing things up, I have managed to get in touch with the person that he tried to throw under that, pardon the pun, bus. I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, really, literally got himself newspaper, like press time, just to mouth off about he didn't get to be in the room. Ugh. Narcissistic imposter in the help world, thinking that this is the guy who's going to solve homelessness all by himself. He's got it. And the person who really did a lot of work, traveling, studying, research, he wants to go, I wasn't invited into that conversation. It's like they just made the decision. Hell yeah, they did. They've got no reason to include you in your Mercedes van. You're nobody. You're a single hero. Woo! Those are imposters, and unfortunately they are everywhere in the world, and you just have to look at them and really just look at them and think about yourself and go, what am I receiving from this? And is this something that's an even exchange? Is this something where I'm validated for who I am? Have I learned anything from this person? Have I learned enough? How much am I gaining? I can move on. I mean, that's, I look at that and I just go, this is now, I can get real academic about it and just go, okay, let's see. I just said some shit. Let's see if you block me, answer me with some plaint, or just stick. I'm curious. Every time I'm curious to see what people do, because I don't keep a lot of people around on social media. I'm like under 100 on most of them. That's good with me. I'm not going for popularity. This is all, in some way, always is kind of a sociological, academic experiment, except for those friends of mine that I'm keeping in touch with, of course. The rest of it is just observation and, But the more of that you look at in terms of what's your real messaging here, why are you doing this on social media? What are you really saying? Get analytical about it. Do it in people's faces too. When they start talking about their trauma and suddenly you find that yours keeps getting kind of deflected back into outside the arena. Well, they've still got more they've got to chew about. When you're getting dismissed in all kinds of ways. I actually had someone do all kinds of that to me and then sort of try and hit me with this, I think, parable that was supposed to be about some woman who took up like all the air in the room. And I was literally like, God, this is just because, like, I've told a story once, you keep telling the same stories over and over again, and you are, like, really projecting that so hard, I don't even know what to do about it. I mean, this is somebody who is literally standing up to tell stories, a lawyer, and eating up all the air in the room. And then when I was getting in, because I am a storyteller, I would get one in, and he hit me with that one day, and I just looked at him and went, are you serious? I mean, that was like the beginning of the end in a way. And unfortunately, there was enough distance by then. I was just red flagging him all over the place and just going, how far are you going to, real? They're out there in every shape, form, color, size, gender, fluidity. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. You've got to figure out who's in there to join, link arms in our shared experience and strengthen each other, and who is there to just strengthen themselves with whatever you've got. Stay aware. Peace, loves.